Hello everyone! Today I am going to be doing a review, and I am going to be reviewing Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. I actually got this book the Friday before it was supposed to come out, and I really wanted to finish it before Tuesday and get my review out on Tuesday, but unfortunately, I just did not. But I have finished it now, and here is my review for it. If you do not know, Empire of Storms is the 5th book to the Throne of Glass series. The first book, Throne of Glass, is about a girl named Selena Sardathian, and she is an assassin. I'm not going to go too much into what the first book is about because I feel like a lot of people already know what the book series is about. But if you have not read Throne of Glass through Queen of Shadows yet, I would suggest not even listening to this first part of the review, but the first part of the review is going to be a little bit of a spoiler-free part for this book. So if you have read Queen of Shadows and you have not read this book yet, you can listen to a little bit of the beginning of this review. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And it's maybe more of a 3.75. The only reason why I'm docking it a little bit is because I absolutely hate Rowan. I'm just gonna go out and say that right away. There's nothing wrong if you like Rowan, but I absolutely hate him. So any part with him and Aelin being together, being lovey-dovey, any of that stuff that happened in this book, I absolutely hated, and I'm really sorry if you ship Aelin and Rowan. I'm not saying that that is wrong, but I hate him so much, and I do not like them together. And yes, I am still a little bitter about Chaol, because I love Chaol. He is my favorite, and I'm still a little bit bitter about what happened in Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, but I'm kind of over it a little bit. So that's kind of why I may be giving it a 3.5 stars, but I feel like that's kind of harsh to judge a book because you don't like a certain character and you don't like that the main character is with that person. So that's why I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars, because any scene that they weren't really being romantic in, I enjoyed a lot. I really started to fall in love with some of the newer characters that were introduced in this book and some of the old characters, and I was just really invested in a lot of the things that happened in this book, and the ending was just insane. I won't go into it in this part of the review. It's pretty much all I can say without really spoiling anything. That wasn't really much of a spoiler-free review, but I'm just really excited to talk about this book. So if you have not read this, I highly suggest you picking it up because I liked it a lot better than Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows. I did not like either one of those books. I think I gave them both 3 out of 5 stars, maybe even less than that. I just did not like them. But this book was definitely an improvement. So even if you really didn't like Queen of Shadows or any of the previous books, I do suggest picking this one up because I really enjoyed it. So go pick this book up, and then once you finish it, you can come back and listen to the rest of my review. First of all, I'm going to say that I barely remember anything that happened in the previous books, not gonna lie. So a lot of the beginning of the book, I was just super confused, and I'm like, what is going on? And I really had to immerse myself back into the world and kind of remember everything and get used to everything again. So I really didn't start writing any notes until probably 50 to 100 pages in, just because I was very lost. But I really love Manon and Astron's friendship. It's just so good. When we learned that Manon killed her half-sister and she's actually part of the Crowhens, I don't know how to say her clan name, but when we found out that she was actually the heir to them and she killed her half-sister, my heart really went out for her. That was just terrible. But I was really happy that Manon rebelled against her grandmother because I did not like her grandmother and I knew Manon could have been a better person. I am just going to say that the new love of my life is Lorcan. I actually love him so much, and I fell in love with him basically the minute I met him. I don't really remember him being in Queen of Shadows. I know he was, but I honestly don't remember him. But from the minute I met him in this book again, I knew I was just gonna love him, and I do so much. So I'm really probably, most of this review is just gonna be me talking about him, but he is honestly my new love. I loved Kale, and I still really like him, but Lorcan is definitely my new favorite in this series. I was really surprised that Lorcan said he was planning on destroying the keys. He mentioned that just briefly, and I did not know that at all. I was very surprised about that, and I didn't really realize that he was rebelling against Maeve. The battle when they were on the ships with the Pirate Lord and they were fighting against the Ilkin. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce half of things in this book, to be honest, but I'm just going to call it the Ilkin, like those creepy monster things. When they were fighting them and Lysandra was a sea dragon, my heart was racing that whole time. I was freaking out, like I could not breathe until it was over, and I knew everyone was going to be safe. Adian and Lysandra getting together was kind of fast. I'm not really complaining because I shipped them together, like I wanted them to be together, but it seemed very quick. But it was so romantic when Adian said that he was going to marry Lysandra. I was flipping out. It was just so cute. When he was talking to Lysandra because he was scared that she was gonna die, and then he said one of them wanted to marry you, and then he said, but you know what I told them? I said that they didn't stand a chance in hell because I'm going to marry you. He promised one day I'm going to marry you. I'll be generous and let you pick when, even if it's 10 years from now or 20, but one day you are going to be my wife. Like, how romantic is that? I also really ship Dorian and Manon. I started shipping them last book when they met, and when Dorian jumped into the water for Manon, he said he didn't even think about it. He just jumped for her and jumped in, and I thought that was super cute. Every scene between Alide and Lorcan, it just got my heart racing so much. I shipped them so hard together. I shipped them from the minute I knew that he was following her. When I knew it was Lorcan, I'm like, they're gonna fall in love. They better fall in love. I shipped them so hard. They're probably my favorite ship of this whole series. It wasn't right away because obviously Lorcan wanted to kill Alide, and Alide didn't really trust him, but the way they made their relationship and just how they grew together, it was very beautiful. I really like this line after Lorcan killed the guy who helped them, which was really sad because the man could have been innocent, but at the same time he could have betrayed them. But Alide said, I was wrong. I said you and I were the same, that we had no family, no friends. But I have none because land and circumstance separate me from them. You have none because no one can stomach being around you. And you know what is the biggest lie you tell everyone, Lorcan? Is that you prefer it to be that way. But I hear, when you rant about my bitch queen, I hear all the words of someone who is deeply jealous and lonely and pathetic. All I hear are the words of someone who saw Aelin and Prince Rowan fall in love and resented them for their happiness because you are so unhappy. And it broke my heart because it's true. Like, she hit it right on the head. Kind of random a little bit, but one thing that kind of annoys me is that everyone worships Aelin. And I like Aelin as a main character. She's good. She's not one of my favorite main characters, but I just feel like everyone worships her and acts like she's this perfect person when it's good to respect your queen. Like, I am totally all for it. That is their queen, so of course they're going to respect her. But everyone acts like she's the best thing in the world and no one questions her. And if someone does question her even a little bit, she gets super mad at them, and then they feel like they have to apologize and feel like they shouldn't have an opinion, which really annoyed me. That didn't really happen too much in this book, but it did happen a little bit, so it just bothers me. And they apologize like it's a crime, but it's not. Like, they can question her. It was very annoying to me when it did happen. When Dorian was fighting to get Manon out of her chains, I'm like, you go, Dorian, fight for your woman. Aelin did mention Chaol once. She mentioned how she hoped that he was getting the treatment that he needed, but Chaol was not mentioned enough in this book. And I feel like he was basically written out of the story. I can count on my hand how many times Chaol was mentioned, even in this book, and maybe he'll be in it more for the next book. I wanted more of Chaol because he is still part of the story, and I don't like how he was basically written out of the story. When Alide went into the dressing room and her uncle was trying to take her, I was screaming. I was freaking out, and I was just hoping that Lorcan would come and kill her uncle like he said he would, because I was scared that she was going to be taken from him, and I'm still really mad that her uncle got away. I really want Lorcan to kill him for Alide. Please, can that happen in the next book? I was really annoyed when Lorcan and Alide were talking and Lorcan said that he was in love with Maeve. I'm like, no, you are going to love Alide. You do not love Maeve. Stay away from Maeve. She is evil. You are with Alide. You need to be with her. But their first kiss. I'm so happy they had that kiss in there. I thought it was really sweet that Lorcan, even though he hates Aelin with a passion, he still warned them about the Ilking coming, and he did that because he knew Alide wanted Aelin to be alive. And when Lorcan threw his body on top of Alide to protect her from the fire, it was so cute. They are so cute. Alide being so concerned about what Aelin would think of her. Alide was being down on herself because she thought that she wasn't worthy of Aelin. That made me really sad because Alide is good enough. Aelin will love her, and Alide just doesn't know it, and it got me really sad when Alide was talking about herself like that. And when Alide and Aelin finally met and Aelin told Alide her mom's last words, it made me tear up a bit because that was just so heartbreaking that Alide had to hear about her mom dying again. When Lorcan said that he wanted to go to Alide's hometown, broke my heart when he said that because he thought he was gonna die and he said he wanted to go to Alide's home with her. Oh, seriously, it broke my heart, but in the best way. I just ship Alide and Lorcan so hard. That was probably my favorite thing of the whole book, is them meeting. And when Alide stuck up for Lorcan because Manon and Aelin were like, she's mine, don't touch her, Alide said she chose this. I flipped out. I could not contain myself. The night before, Maeve and her army came, and Alide was laying with Lorcan. And then he reached over for her and was like touching her arm, and then he said, you chose this. And then Alide was blushing and she said, I thought that was obvious. I died just a little at that. And by a little, I mean a lot. I got chills. Literally chills all over my body when Rowan's cousins were attacking Maeve's ships. It was so cool. I was getting my hair done and I was reading that part and literally goosebumps were all over my skin when that happened. I don't know why, but I just got so many chills. It was so awesome, especially when he said that all of his cousins attacked, because at first all of them said, I will consider this, and then they all attacked him. Like, every single one of them attacked Maeve's ships. It was so awesome. But I was freaking out when Lorcan found out that Maeve was on the beach where he sent Alide. Oh, it's like, of course this would happen. Why can't we have good things in Sarah J Maas's books? I just don't understand. Listening to Elena talking about saving Aelin and that this was basically completely planned and that Aelin actually died when she was younger and then Elena saved her life, that was really, really interesting. Just the whole ending scene was just insane. insane. I feel like Sarah J Maas just makes the best endings. I screamed when Abraxos came with the 12. I was so pumped because I was a little worried for him, honestly, because Manon was wondering when he would come back, and he wasn't coming back, but then he came back with the 12. It was awesome. I actually could have cried, and I literally got goosebumps all over my body again. But Lorcan, oh my freaking god, I cannot believe that he betrayed Aelin. And Aelin knew that he betrayed her. I still love Lorcan. I'm sure a bunch of you probably hate him. I still love him. I still could not believe that he did that. I know he did it to protect Alide because that's basically all he cares about other than Maeve. But still, I'm like, seriously, why? Now Alide is gonna hate you. I really wanted it to be in the situation where Lorcan fought off Maeve because his love for Alide was so powerful, and he still kind of fought it because he told Alide to run. Still, I was really hoping that he would break through and be able to save everyone, but alas, he couldn't. Even though I hate Rowan, I felt really bad for him when Maeve said that she gave him another mate, like she acted like someone else was his mate so he wouldn't know that Aelin was. I did feel a little bit bad for Rowan. I still hate him and I don't like them together, but I did feel a little bad. And what is with mates not telling their significant other that they are mates? I just don't understand. First Rysand with Farah, and now Aelin and Rowan. Like, why aren't you telling your mate that you are mates? I don't understand it. Aelin getting whipped though, oh my god. I honestly, it was so painful to read about, and when she refused to count the whips, oh, it was honestly very, very painful to read, and it just made my heart ache. I knew when Manon wasn't siding with Aelin and she said that she would stay out of Maeve's way, I knew that there was some reason why she wasn't gonna help her, but I did not know that she had the keys, which is awesome because now, even though Aelin is captured, which is terrible, they still have the keys, so they're still kind of ahead of the game. But when Manon said that she hopes Aelin survives so she can die for them later, that was very chilling. Aelin still has to die, and I really hope there's a way we can get around that because I don't want Aelin to die. Honestly, I don't care if Rowan dies. That sounds terrible, but I hate him so much that I honestly wouldn't be that upset if he dies. But I really don't want Aelin to die, so I hope there is some way around that. When Lorcan started crying, when Rowan said, "Where's my wife?" I couldn't handle it. The whole situation was just really emotional, and when Lorcan started crying, that was it, because he knew that he messed up terribly. When Alide told Lorcan off, it broke me again. It made me so sad because I still love them together so much. I really hope that Alide and Lorcan still get together in the next book and that Alide can forgive him because I'm very upset that Lorcan betrayed them. I'm so mad at him, but I still love him. The people who came in at the end of the book, all of Aelin's allies, it was a really cool moment, but I feel like it could have been cooler if I actually knew who those people were. I literally had no idea who they were. They probably were from the short stories, which I really should have finished before this book because I was severely confused. But when Lysandra acted as Aelin, it was super painful because I knew it had to be done, but it's still really sad that Aelin isn't there with them and that Lysandra has to pretend to be Aelin. And I'm really surprised that her and Lysandra had this whole thing planned out for so long. I totally understand Aedion being really upset that they didn't tell him what the plan was, especially when he was so involved in it. And that's another one of the kind of annoying things that I wish Aelin would tell more people her plans so they wouldn't be so shocked when things happen. I'm really happy that Lorcan decided to stay with them and they aren't kicking him out and tossing him away because he betrayed them. I'm really happy that he'll be with them and trying to find Aelin, and hopefully that will kind of help him getting forgiveness from Elide. I'm terrible, that's the only thing I'm thinking of, but that's really concerning me that they won't get together in the next book. And also when Dorian was riding Abraxos with Manon, and then Manon said something to Dorian that made him actually smile. It was just so good. I was so excited because I love them so much together. And Manon is actually finally being actually happy and not just being ruthless, especially when she found out that her 12 were still alive. She was actually happy to see them, and I feel like Dorian might have had a little bit to do with that. So that is pretty much all of my thoughts on Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. I feel like a lot of this review was me just gushing about all of my ships that I love so much. I didn't really talk much about the actual story until the end of it, but a lot of the beginning I really didn't take that many notes because I was a little confused and I was kind of just taking in the story as I was reading it, so a lot of it was just me talking about all my ships, I know. But I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it so much more than the third and the fourth book, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I feel like the last book is going to be even bigger than this because they have to find Aelin first of all. They have to kill Maeve because I'm assuming that they're going to kill her. I hope they do because I do not like her at all. And they also have to kill the Demon King. And Aelin has to take her throne, which I hope she does because I really don't want her to die. So I feel like there's a lot that has to happen in the next book. There'll probably be a lot of political things because they'll have to get allies. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to. And I will talk to you next time. Bye! Either one of those books, barely at all. I think I gave both of them 3 points. I think I gave both of them 3. Oh. I can't talk today. And when Elide and Aelin finally met and Erwan, I don't know how to say his name.